Welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, I will be reviewing some products that were sent to me by Born Pretty, and on this hand, it was from a recent video where I reviewed an Amazon dip powder kit, so I will link that down below. But just so you can see how tiny this bag is, and believe it or not, there are 5 different dip powders in here, and it was all for around $15. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first up, this is Nicole Diary, and the color is ND for Nicole Diary CM05, and it is a 0.34 ounce jar, and it's only $2.99. So it doesn't look like there's a seal, but the color is very pretty, so I'm excited to swatch all of these. So next up is another Nicole Diary, and this one is ND CM03, and it was also a 0.34 ounce jar, and the same price, $2.99. So it does look like there's a seal in this one, and I'm gonna have to go back and grab my other one and see, maybe it was just in the lid. But this is a very light creamy shade, and I'm excited to see how it looks. Okay, so I take back what I said. There is a seal inside. It just popped off inside the lid. Next up is a Born Pretty color, and you can already see the difference in quality. The bag is even prettier, and the packaging is really nice. And it looks like, so there's actually a seal on top of this jar around it, a little plastic seal. So I'm gonna grab my cuticle pusher and just break the seal. So this color is BP for Born Pretty SPD10, and on their website it's listed as Summer Fling. This is a 0.34 ounce jar again, and $3.99. So it looks like there is also a seal inside, and it's on there really good, so I'm going to use my tool again to break the seal. Remember ladies, your nails are not tools. Don't go breaking a nail trying to break open these jars. And this shade, it's like a very deep green, forest green. I can't wait to see this one. I'm probably the most excited about this. So here is the other Born Pretty color that I picked out, and this one did not fare as well as the other. I can see the powder is already spilling out, so I'm going to be very careful when I open it and try to salvage as much as I can. So this color is BP again for Born Pretty SPD09, and it's called Pretty Dream Online. Same price, $3.99. So there is a seal inside, and you saw there is a seal around the jar. So the only thing I could think that maybe they could do better is to bubble wrap the powder, so if they're being banged around while in transit, maybe that could help. And the last product that I picked out to review is from UR Sugar, and this is UR01. It's 0.17 ounces. Look at how teeny tiny this jar is, but it's only $1.59. It's supposed to be a fluorescent color, so I'll have to see if it lights up. And again, I do see a seal, so that's really cool. Here's a little size comparison, just in case you were wondering. So this is 3 dips, and as you can see, it is still very, very sheer. It does not look the same as it did on their website, so I will say that. And it also does not glow, so far I'm striking out with this brand. So I noticed these were also transparent after 3 dips, so I went back to the website, and I'm a big dummy, and I picked out jellies. So both the Nicole Diary colors are jellies. The UR Sugar is not, but they're still very pretty, so maybe I'll need to go back and try out some more solid coverage colors. I am just swooning over this green. I don't own anything like it. I am so excited to try this one out. And this powder also had a great coverage, and I think it's going to be gorgeous for fall. So I narrowed it down to these two, and although I'm not thrilled that I picked out a jelly, I do still want to try out different brands so I can let you guys know what I think. So as per usual, I have my Sparkling Co liquids here, and what I like to do when doing manicures with different colors is I start with the lightest shade. Especially if there's glitters, I always save glitters for last because I don't want it to get on top of my other solid colors or into the jars. So that's just a tip. If you have a few different shades that you're using on one hand, definitely start with your lightest. So my review videos aren't typically tutorials, they're more so just me getting used to the product and sharing my experience, but I'd be happy to link a basic dip powder tutorial down below in case that's what you're looking for. So I will say that the powder does seem like it's a nice quality. It doesn't feel grainy, it doesn't feel super dense. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give you feedback on the color coverage because it is a jelly, which is totally my fault, but I will have to maybe try out some more of their colors so I can report back on that. So when Born Pretty reached out to me to review some of their products, I did want to, again, try out as many brands as I could, since if you go to their website, they have lots and lots of brands, accessories. Oh my gosh, you guys, they have a little bit of everything. And it did take about 3 weeks for it to get to me from when I let them know what shades I was interested in trying to when I received the products. But this was also in the thick of COVID, so I don't know if that's why, but just something to be aware of. And when I checked their website, it does say shipping times can be from, 2 to 4 weeks. So just something to think about if you're in a rush. But if you're not, it might be a great, affordable, and inexpensive option to try out. So the reason my nails keep looking a little bit wet after I dip into them, it's not the powder's fault, it's actually mine. I'm on the bottom of this base bottle for Sparkling Co, and I'm just trying to get as much liquid out of it as possible and onto my nails, so I just do another dip if it still looks that way. It's no big deal. So here's my thoughts on these teeny tiny jars. I feel like it's gonna be half and half with some of you. Some of you are probably put off by that tiny little size, but for me personally, where I'm at with my collection, I actually enjoy the smaller sizes. I like being able to try out more colors for less money. So the fact that I was able to get 5 colors for around $15 is very appealing to me as a consumer, but I do understand where some of you may be a little bit put off by that smaller quantity, but I just think it's fun to be able to try different brands and different colors, and especially glow colors or glitter colors. It just gives you so many more options. But I will say, for the You Are Sugar jar, that one might be just a little bit too small for me. I know it was only $1.59, but it was difficult to even just put the swatch stick inside of it, being that it's not really that deep. But the other jars, the 0.34 ounce jars, I felt were deep enough, you can see here, for me to dip my finger into, and I still thought it was enough powder and a good sized jar. I actually feel kind of silly that I've never ordered from them before because everything is so inexpensive, and I know, again, that can be a put off to some people, and I totally understand, but I feel like for me to use some of these products maybe once or twice, it's not that big a deal to me to have, glitter be $1. Like, I think that's cool to try it out and have fun with it, or even some of their nail accessories. I would love to know, have you guys ordered from them? Did you try out some of these dip powder brands? What did you buy? Did you love it? Like, I just am so curious. You guys will have to tell me down below. I want to hear your feedback and what your experiences were. So I'm moving on to the Born Pretty dip powder now, and it's the same. The quality is still there. The powder is finely milled, no graininess, and it's actually a really great coverage. It's a true green, and I could probably get away with 2 dips. I will do 3 still because I just prefer that for strength, but so far I'm impressed. Also, I should mention, So with the teeny tiny UR sugar jar, you could still use it, but doing a different method than dipping your nail straight into it. So one way is the pour over. So you could pour the jar over top of your nail, maybe over a cupcake liner so you don't have a lot of waste, or you could pour the entire product into a cupcake liner and dip your nail, kind of laying it flat on top, into the powder as well. So those are just options. If you are still looking to spend just $1 on your powder, you could definitely do that. I feel like I am slowly but surely already gravitating to fall shades. Like if this mani doesn't give it away with this deep green and all these neutral shades I picked out, are you guys already starting to change up to fall? Are you still just grasping onto those neon shades? Like I'd love to know, when do you start wearing your quote unquote fall colors? And if you haven't already, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. All of my subscribers here are always so encouraging and so friendly. So if you love doing nails at home or you're new to doing a dip powder, then you are in the right place. So I just want to mention something here. Do you see how slow I am going? You guys, this is even sped up just a hair. I go very, very slow when I am doing my nails on my dominant hand. I know so many of you are trying to learn how to shave off time on doing your nails, or you maybe feel discouraged because it takes so long, or maybe your dominant hand is just not turning out as nice. I think sometimes we all need to learn to just slow down, and I hope you see that in how slow I'm going. And that's just so I don't get the liquid on my skin and that I get the results that I'm looking for. Also, I know some of you probably follow me on Instagram, and if you don't already, I'd love to have you there as well. I do post pretty often on my stories and just chat about things in life and nails. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, if you do follow me there, then you may have already seen I do some chat with Chelsea sometimes on my stories, and I just talk about different topics with nails and things and whatever's on my mind. Well, now I will be doing sort of like chat with Chelsea episodes here on YouTube. And so my next one coming up is going to be chatting about peel base. So I'm going to be covering anything and everything peel base. I'll talk about just when you would use it, how you use it. I'll show you how you would remove your nails when they're ready to pop off. And I think maybe my next one, I might do a chat with Chelsea about lifting, because that's another big question that I get asked in my DMs. If you have any other topics that you'd want me to cover, or just literally sit and chat with y'all about, I would love to hear what you would like. Now that I am down to my final layer, I'm happy to report there is no staining. It's a deeper shade, so I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, but it's a great coverage, even pigmentation. I'm very impressed for just a little $3 powder. I think it's a gorgeous color. So I'm going to stop gabbing now and let y'all finish watching me. So for some reason my phone cut out while I was recording my Solidify application, but all I did was just apply a layer of that to all of my nails, and now that it is dry, I can move on to filing. So this is just a 180 grit nail file, and I am reshaping my nails, and then I will move on to buffing them smooth. So something I wanted to point out is none of the green is actually being buffed off, so that's really great. Sometimes what can happen is you can buff or file the color off, and that's not happening with this, so that's a plus. To avoid that, you could absolutely apply a layer of clear dip powder on top, especially on pastel shades or glitters, but I actually prefer to just do 3 dips of color. It's totally personal preference. Okay, so now it's time for our last and final layer of Solidify, and this is such a rewarding part of the process. The Solidify just brings that color to life, and you get to finally see what the true shade will be. So now that my nails are dry, I'm just going to use a napkin to wipe them off just to be safe and make sure that there's no extra Solidify or any powder left over, and that helps prevent your top coat from getting sticky or thick. So with my Glossy Coat 2.0, I'm just going to apply a thin, even layer across all of my nails, being careful not to get any of this on my skin because that will cause a lifting issue. So normally for these colors, I probably would have done matte, but I want you to see here the difference between shiny and matte. I'd love to know, would y'all have done matte or would you have done the shiny? I just felt like something about this green just screamed that it needed a shiny, glossy finish. And usually, again, I would have said matte, but I don't know, this green is just so pretty. I felt like it deserved to be shiny. So immediately following, we go in with our second and final layer of Glossy Coat. So after about 10 minutes have passed and my nails are nice and dry, I like to follow up with my Cuticle Candy from Candi Skincare. Again, this is the Tropi Waii scent, and if you haven't seen already on my Instagram, I do have a video of the latest summer trio that I got from her. It's in the little pen form and I love it. They're amazing. So if you're into the summer scents, I'm telling you, you guys, it's so good. The summer trio actually retires on August 30th, so if that's something you're interested in, definitely go check it out before it's gone. And she was super sweet and gave me a discount code to share with you guys, and that is Chelsea15, and that'll save you 15% off on your next purchase. So here is the final product, and I have to say, I'm impressed. The jellies, so it being transparent, was my fault. It's not the product. It's actually doing as it's supposed to. The green is gorgeous. I thought the packaging was great. I will say I will probably pass on the You Are Sugar purely based on just not having a great experience with this particular one, not glowing, and the tiny jar. Now the Nicole Diary, I felt like the quality was also there, and maybe I need to try a darker shade. And the Born Pretty, I really enjoyed, and I will absolutely try out more of their products. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.